This is a story I've been really watching from the sidelines, not paying too much attention to it. Shame on me, but it's getting bigger and bigger by the hour, the situation with Parma. I love what Lucarelli said in regards to we should be really concerned about the employees of this club, staff and people that really need this money, not us, the players. Talk about it, Alf, and where we are today.
Well, it's tragic, isn't it? I mean, this is a club with such a tremendous history, a club that reached, the pinnacle of European, I don't want to say domination, but they were at the top of European soccer summits a couple of decades ago. They won a couple of UEFA Cups, a Cup Winners' Cup, a European Super Cup, so they were contending team in Europe, apart from being a consistent powerhouse in the Italian league for a couple of decades. So to see the image and the history of that club just crumble before your eyes is really tragic, and it's unfortunate that the situation has been dragging on for so long, and really no one has taken the interest to try and stop the bleeding much sooner. And that's one of the things that, as you mentioned, the captain Alessandro Lucarelli had been saying, that players and staff hadn't been paid any wages since last summer. And they were, simply going on the good faith of everyone involved in the club that a resolution would happen eventually. And so far, it still seems as if the players aren't being paid, staff isn't being paid, games are being postponed simply because they don't have the funds to be able to stage a home match, and they're actually playing away from home this coming weekend at Genoa, and their travel is being paid for by the visiting teams or the host team. So it's a real shambles. It's a real shame for a club, as I said, with such a great history to be involved in a situation like this.
So Alessandro Lucarelli and his teammates are now doing their own laundry. They're doing a lot of other things, and they don't mind doing that, as he explained. But now, where do we go from here? I understand that the next game that they do play at home, if they're not paid, if employees aren't paid, they will play 10 minutes and walk off the field, and that's it until things get straightened out. What have you heard up to recently?
Well, that's what the players have threatened, is in order for their voices to be heard once and for all, is they have to take a stand. And that was essentially the reason why the game against Udinese did not go ahead. The news reports indicated that the club simply didn't have the funds to pay for security around the stadium, but the real reason was that the players refused to take the field. So I think they're united. They're going to take a stand. The plan is that they will walk onto the field and then simply walk right off again to simply impress upon everyone that this is a situation that has gone far too long and needs to be resolved. Now, the current president of the club is continuing to insist that payments will be made, but the players have been hearing this for about 2 weeks, ever since he took office, and nothing has been resolved yet. No payments have come forward. It doesn't appear as if this gentleman's business holdings really have enough funds to be able to cover day-to-day operations, let alone back wages that are owed since last July. So it's a really critical situation, and I think if the club cannot pull itself out of this series of circumstances, they're facing basically having to forfeit the rest of the season. And then eventually falling not just into Serie B, but falling down into basically the last available category of play in Serie A, which would be the amateur leagues. So it's a real unfortunate situation, and obviously the league officials and the federation officials have allowed this to go on far too long. They should have stepped up much sooner when the club was changing hands, and it changed hands about 3 times in the month of December, and nothing was done at that time.